Good evening, students. Welcome to Sankalp learning classes. Yes, I'm Vinutha Bhatt, working as a biology lecturer in Sankalp Learning Solution. I hope all are ready to listen the class. So already we have discussed the synopsis as well as some questions related to the biological classification chapter. So ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಈ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ KCET ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೋಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೆನ್. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. Okay. Then let's start with the first question. Which among the following are correct statements? Okay, read the statements. Which among the following are correct? Whitaker's classification managed to consider cell structure, nature of the cell wall, mode of nutrition, and method of reproduction. Here, this is the first sentence. In two kingdom classification, all the fungi and algae are forcefully made to join Animalia. Read the sentence 3. Whitaker's classification is polyphyletic and so failed to group similar organisms under the same kingdom. And Whitaker's classification didn't include the virus. Here, which of the following statements are correct? Okay, so that you have to find out. Whitaker's classification managed to consider the cell structure, nature of cell wall, mode of nutrition, and method of reproduction. Yes, so these all points are considered to classify the organisms. This statement is correct. In two kingdom classification, all the fungi and algae are forcefully made to join Animalia. Here, fungi, so it joined the Animalia, but algae, that is in the Plantae. Okay, algae, that is in the Plantae in two kingdom classification, and fungi in the Animalia. So here option B is the wrong answer. Whitaker's classification polyphyletic and so failed to group similar organisms under the same kingdom. Here polyphyletic means which consider the common ancestry of the organisms. So ancestor yadu a basis mele classification ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. So here, yes, he used the polyphyletic and failed to group similar organisms under the same kingdom. So this is not a correct statement. He grouped the similar organisms under the same kingdom by using the polyphyletic polyphyletic, right? So option C is the wrong one. Whitaker's classification didn't include virus. Yes, Whitaker's classification that it didn't include the virus, because virus, that is the non-cellular, which is living when it is present only in the living organism's body. So option D is the correct statement. So here option A and D are the correct statements. So you have to choose the correct one, that is option A and D are the correct statement. Next question. Plantae consist of prokaryotes, unicellular organisms, multicellular organisms, heterotrophs. Yes, comment the correct option in the chat box. Here, plants are prokaryotes. No, plants are eukaryotes, right? Plants are unicellular organisms. No, plants are not unicellular organisms. Plants are heterotrophs. No, they are autotrophs. Plants, they include the unicellular, but they are multicellular. Most commonly, they are multicellular, but they include some unicellular organisms also. But option B is the wrong one. Plants consist of unicellular organisms, multicellular organisms, heterotrophs. Here, plants It do not contain the prokaryotes, unicellular organisms, and the heterotrophs. The correct option. Plants mainly consist of multicellular autotrophic organisms. Option C is the correct answer. Plants mainly include the multicellular organisms and they are autotrophs. Next question. Who proved that viruses are crystalline like structure? M.W. Stanley, Ivanovsky, M.W. sorry, W.M. Stanley, and here M.W. Bezerin Lavoisier. Yes, who proved the viruses are crystalline like structures. Here, Ivanovsky, the scientist Ivanovsky, who observed the microbes that is responsible for the tobacco mosaic disease. Ivanovsky, first scientist who observed the some microbes which are responsible for the tobacco mosaic disease. M.W. Bezerin, M.W. Bezerin, who observed the some microorganisms which are responsible for the disease, TMV disease. He was able to form the liquid of the that plant which is affected by the tobacco mosaic virus, and he proved that these microorganisms they transmit the disease from infected one to the healthy one. So that is the contribution of M.W. Bezerin. So the correct answer, the scientist who proved that viruses are crystalline like structures, W.M. Stanley. The correct option, option A, W.M. Stanley. And you should know the contribution of Ivanovsky and M.W. Bezerin also. Okay. So the correct one, option A, M.W. Stanley. Next question. Viruses are an example of obligate parasites, facultative parasites, commensalism, ectoparasites. So viruses are example for which of the following? Ectoparasites means they are present, the parasites which are present outside the body. So virus that is not present outside the body commonly, that is the that is not ectoparasite. Commensalism virus, they do not show the commensalism. So that is the association of the two organisms. So here commensalism, so that is not found in the viruses. Facultative parasites and the obligate parasites. Obligate parasites means the life cycle of the parasite that completely takes place in the host body. So that the complete the production of organisms, the complete life cycle that takes place in the uh, host body, that is the obligate parasite. So option A is the correct answer, that is obligate parasites. Next question. Which among the following is not a difference between viruses and viroids? Virus that has the genetic material as well as the protein code. But the viroids, they contain only genetic material. So that is also a RNA, right? So here, which of the following is not a difference between viruses and the viroids? Viruses contain DNA, whereas viroids don't contain DNA. Yes, viroids, they don't contain DNA. So that is correct one. Some virus, they contain the DNA. But viroids, they do not contain the DNA. So that is the correct one. Viruses contain protein coat, whereas viroids don't contain the protein coat. Yes, that is also correct one. Viruses contain the genetic materials as well as protein coat. But in case of viroids, the protein coat is absent. That is also correct. Viruses contain RNA, whereas viroids don't contain RNA. See this sentence. Viruses contain RNA. Yes, in some virus, RNA is present, but viroids don't contain RNA. But in case of viroids, the genetic material is RNA. In viroids, DNA is not present, but RNA is present. So option C is the not a difference between the virus and viroids. Viruses are found in bacteria, animals and plants, but viroids only in plants. So that is also correct statement here. The which one is not a difference between virus and viroids? That is the option C. That is virus contain RNA and also viroids also contain the RNA. Next question. Who discovered viroids? Option A, T.O. Diner, Alexander Fleming, W.M. Stanley, Robert Hooke. Who discovered the viroids? The scientist name? Yes, option A, T.O. Diner, who discovered the viroids. And here Robert Hooke, who discovered the cell, and W.M. Stanley, who confirmed virus. They form they can be converted into crystalline protein structure. That is the W.M. Stanley. Next one. Which among the following is odd? Mumps, smallpox, influenza, potato spindle tuber disease. Yes, try to find out the answer. Please write the correct option in the chat box. Yes, option D. Yes. Mumps, what is the reason why option D is the correct answer? Option D is the correct answer. Yes. Here, mumps, smallpox, influenza. So, these diseases are caused by the virus, and potato spindle tuber disease, that is caused by the viroids. Yes, that is the correct answer, which is caused by the viroids. Next one. AIDS stands for AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, acquired immunodisease syndrome, all India disease syndromes, aided Institute for Development and the Sciences. Here, what is the full form of AIDS? That is the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, that is nothing but the AIDS. Option A is the correct answer. Sorry, this one only. Please note down the question. Next one. The fungal portion in lichens is known as dash, mycobiont, phycobiont. capsobiont and deuterobiont. Mycobiont, picobiont, capsobiont and deuterobiont. Yes, what's the correct answer? Here, lichens that is formed by association of the fungi and the algae, right? So here fungal portion that is called as mycobiont and the algal portion that is called as the picobiont. Okay, so these two terminologies that is very important. Picobiont and the mycobiont. So these two are very important. Please note down the question. Lichens are indicators of pollution because they grow in oxygen depleted region. They don't grow in polluted regions. They grow in polluted regions. Their growth indicates that the region has high carbon levels. Yes, what's the answer for this question? Yes, here they grow in oxygen depleted regions. So this is the wrong one. They do not grow in oxygen depleted regions. They don't grow in polluted regions. Yes, that is correct. Lichens, they'll not grow in the polluted regions. So that is the correct one. They grow in polluted regions. So that is the wrong one. They do not grow in polluted regions. Their growth indicates that region has very high carbon levels, so they do not grow in the polluted areas where the carbon level is high. So option D is also wrong. The correct option, that is the second one. They don't grow in polluted regions. Next question, please read the question. Dunelella salina belongs to the category of dash: halophiles, thermophiles, hydrophiles, and the methanogens. So it belongs to the category of halophiles, thermophiles, hydrophiles, and methanogens. Halophiles means they're present in the high salinity, thermophiles at the high temperature, hydrophiles in water, and methanogens. So they are able to produce the methane gas. So this organism belongs to the category of option A, halophiles. The correct option, that is the halophile. Next question. Please read the question properly. Methanogens are present in the mouth of the cow, guts of cow, respiratory system of cow, ribs of cow. Yes, what's the correct answer? Methanogens are present in the mouth of cow? No, they are not present in the mouth of cow. Guts of the cow, respiratory system of the cow. So that is also wrong one. Ribs of the cow? No, they are present in the guts of the cow. Ruminant organisms. Okay, option B is the correct answer. Next question. Archaebacteria can survive in extreme condition because of complex metabolic reactions in their body, fact that they are the oldest life forms on earth, rigid cell wall, they have double membrane nucleus. Yes, what is the answer? Archaebacteria can survive in extreme condition like extreme temperature, extreme acid condition. So in these all condition, archaebacteria are living. What is the reason behind this? Yes, let us see the answer. Option C, that is in the comment box. Okay. Are complex metabolic reactions in their body? No, that is not helpful to live in the survive in the extreme condition. They are the oldest life forms. So this is also wrong one. Rigid cell wall. Yes, this rigid cell wall that is helping the archaebacteria to survive in the extreme condition. Double membrane nucleus. So this is also wrong one. The correct option is option C. Rigid cell wall they have. Next question. In chemosynthetic autotrophs, energy to prepare food is obtained from. How the energy is obtained in this chemosynthetic autotrophs? Chemosynthetic. They are not photosynthetic autotrophs. They are chemosynthetic autotrophs. Chemosynthetic. Here, they use the light energy. No, this chemosynthetic, they do not use the light energy. Chemical energy, bioenergy, thermal energy. They do not use the thermal energy and the bioenergy. Chemical energy. So chemosynthetic means they oxidize the inorganic compounds like sulfates and phosphates, and they get the energy from that process. So they are called as the chemosynthetic autotrophs. Okay. So here the correct option is from chemical energy by oxidizing the inorganic materials. Next question. Which among the following is incorrect about cyanobacteria? Which among the following is incorrect about the cyanobacteria? Okay. Here, please mute your audio. Next question. The word cyano means greenish blue because of which the cyanobacteria is also called as blue-green algae. The color of cyanobacteria is due to the presence of the chlorophyll. Cyanobacteria are chemosynthetic autotrophs. Cyanobacteria help in enriching oxygen levels in the atmosphere. Here, cyanobacteria that uses the that performs the that is able to perform the photosynthesis, so which increase the oxygen levels. Yes, that is the correct statement. Cyanobacteria are chemosynthetic autotrophs. Cyanobacteria, they are chemosynthetic autotrophs. That is the wrong one. So they are photosynthetic autotrophs because they have the chlorophyll. Cyanobacteria, they have the chlorophyll. So they are called as photosynthetic autotrophs. So option C is the incorrect one. The color of cyanobacteria is due to the presence of chlorophyll. Yes, that's the correct one. The word cyano means greenish blue because which the cyanobacteria is called as blue-green algae. That is also correct statement here. The incorrect statement about the cyanobacteria, that is cyanobacteria are chemosynthetic autotrophs. That is the wrong answer. Next question. Pseudomonas adopt parasitic mode of nutrition, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, saprophytic mode of nutrition, autotrophic mode of nutrition. Yes, what's the answer for this question? Pseudomonas adopt what type of the nutrition? Parasitic mode of nutrition? No. Here, Pseudomonas. So that is not showing the parasitic mode of nutrition. So here, Pseudomonas that shows the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. What is the meaning of heterotrophic mode of nutrition? Which obtain the food from other organisms, which is not able to uh, get the not able to produce its own nutrition. So that is called as the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Next question. Which among the following are incorrect about the mycoplasma? You have to find out the statement which is incorrect about the mycoplasma. It has rigid cell wall. It adopts parasitic mode of nutrition. It is present in the urogenital tract of blood. Tract and blood, sorry. It is present in the urogenital tract and blood. Blood smears. Mycoplasma is the smallest living cell. Yes, what's the correct answer for this? Option C. No. Option C is the wrong one. What is the speciality of the mycoplasma? Mycoplasma that lack the cell wall. Cell wall is absent. It has the rigid cell wall. This statement is wrong. So about the mycoplasma that is the bacteria, that is the Monera, that belongs to the Monera kingdom, but does not contain the cell wall. So that is the correct one. Option A, not D. Mycoplasma is the smallest living cell. Yes, that is correct one. It adopts the parasitic mode of nutrition. It causes the diseases. That is correct one. It is present in the urogenital tract and blood smears. That is also correct one. But incorrect statement that is about the rigid cell wall because it is the commonly the organisms belong to the Monera kingdom. They have the rigid cell wall, but here it lack the rigid cell wall. So that is the incorrect statement. Option A. Please mute your audio. I request, please, everybody mute your audio. My humble request, try to mute your audio. Next question. E. coli is rod-shaped bacterium present in digestive tract of humans, respiratory tract of humans, urogenital tract of humans, excretory tract of humans. Here, rod-shaped bacteria, what it is called? Rod-shaped bacteria. That is called as bacillus type of the bacteria, right? Based on the shape, it is called as bacillus type of the bacteria. E. coli is the rod-shaped bacterium present in digestive tract of human beings. So that is the type of the bacteria present in the which part? That is at the digestive part of the human beings. Next question. Which of the following organisms can be found in extreme saline condition? Eubacteria, Archaebacteria, Cyanobacteria, Mycobacteria. Yes, which of the following that is present in the extreme saline condition? Yes, what's the answer? Eubacteria, that is the true bacteria and which is not present in the extreme condition. Here, cyanobacteria, that is also uh, present in the normal condition, not in the extreme saline condition, and mycobacteria also. But archaebacteria, that is the primitive type of the bacteria and which is present in the extreme saline condition and which is present in the, okay, you want 18th question. Okay, just a minute. E. coli is a rod-shaped bacterium present in the dash. In which part it is present? Digestive tract of humans, respiratory tract of humans, urogenital and the excretory tract. Here, E. coli is the rod-shaped bacteria, that is the bacillus type of the bacteria, that is called as the bacillus, right? Here, which is present in the digestive tract of human beings. Next question, which of the following organisms found in an extreme saline condition? That is the Archaebacteria. Option B is the correct one. Archaebacteria is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements is false about the fungi? False statements, incorrect statement you have to find out. First statement, they are eukaryotes. Yes, fungi, only Monera is the prokaryote, right? Remaining all are eukaryotes. Remaining all the organisms belong to the remaining kingdom. They are eukaryotes. That is the correct statement. They are heterotrophs. Yes, they do not have the chlorophyll. They are not able to produce their own food. That is also strong. Correct one. They possess purely cellulosic cell wall. Yes, they have cellulosic cell wall. Purely means only the cell wall is made up of the cellulose. No, cell wall is made up of the chitin. That does not contain completely, that is not made up of the cellulose. It is made up of the chitin. It does not contain the cellulose in it. Okay, cellulose is not present in the cell wall of the fungi. So chitin is the substance which form the cell wall of the fungi. Okay, so option C is the wrong one. Here, option C, they possess a purely cellulosic cell wall. That is the wrong one. Next question. African sleeping sickness is caused by Trypanosoma cruzi, T. tangella, rhodo, rhodescens, and gambescens. Yes, here African sleeping sickness is caused by. Here, this spelling should be like this: trypanosoma, trypanosoma, trypanosoma. Okay, not soma. It is trypanosoma. African sleeping sickness, that is called caused by the trypanosoma. That is the type of protozoa, right? That is the type of protozoa. So in protozoa, which class it belongs? Is it belongs to the euglenoids or what? It's a type of sporos, flagellated sporo. Sorry, not sporozoa. It is a flagellated type of the organisms which has the flagella, trypanosoma. Note down the question. That is the flagellated protozoa. Here, trypanosoma, flagellated. Next question. Genes of tobacco mosaic virus are, read the option. Double-stranded RNA, single-stranded RNA, double-stranded DNA, proteinaceous. Yes, genes of TMV virus. So what type of the gene it contains? That is the virus. Some virus, they contain the DNA as the genetic material. Some contain the RNA as the genetic material, right? But what it contain? Genes of the tobacco mosaic virus. What it contain? Yes, what's the answer? Single-stranded RNA. Is it correct? Single-stranded RNA or double-stranded DNA? What is the correct answer for this? Tobacco mosaic virus, that is double-stranded DNA virus. So option C is the correct answer. This tobacco mosaic virus, that is the double-stranded DNA virus. Sorry? Sorry, here single-stranded RNA. Yes, that is the correct one. Single-stranded RNA. TMV that contains the single-stranded RNA. Yes, that is the correct one. Single-stranded RNA. Tobacco mosaic virus that contain the single-stranded RNA. But some viruses, they also, here in case of bacteriophage, sorry, in case of bacteriophage which infect the bacteria that has the double stranded DNA. Okay, so which has the double strand DNA as the genetic material, bacteriophage. But TMV that has, yes, that is the correct answer, single stranded RNA as the genetic material. But bacteriophage, so that has the double stranded DNA as the genetic material. Next one, blue-green algae belong to which group? Protista, prokaryotes, fungi, bryophytes. Here, blue-green algae. So that is also called as cyanobacteria, right? So this blue-green algae, so that belongs to the cyanobacteria. So that is also called as cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria means that is a prokaryote that belongs to the Monera kingdom, right? So fungi and bryophytes, so they do not contain blue-green algae, and protista also do not contain the blue-green algae. So blue-green algae, that comes under the prokaryotes. That is the correct answer. Next question. Class Sporozoa of phylum Protozoa is characterized by. Here Sporozoa, class Sporozoa, Protista, that is again classified into different groups like chrysophytes, slime molds, and dinoflagellates are the different groups. Here, protozoans, protozoa that come. So that is again divided into different groups: protozoa, flagellated protozoa, ciliated protozoa, amoeboid protozoa. Like this it is classified, right? Here one more group, that is the sporozoa, that comes under the protozoa. So what is the characteristic feature of this sporozoa? Is it have flagella? No. Flagella, that is having protozoa, that is called as flagellated protozoa. Cilia is there, means that is the ciliated. Pseudopodia is the locomotor organ, means that is the amoeboid type of the protozoa. So the correct option, that is the D, infectious spores like stage. Here pseudopodia, that is the amoeboid type of the protozoa. Cilia means ciliated type of the protozoa. Flagella is there, means flagellated type of the protozoa. So here infectious spore form that is present in the sporozoa. Okay. Next question. Which of the following is incorrect for nostoc? So find out the incorrect statement about nostoc. Heterocystus cyanobacteria, means which contain the heterocyst. Presence of mucilaginous sheath, presence of flagella fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. Which one of the following statement is wrong here? Heterocystus, which contain the heterocyst. So yes, that is the correct one. Presence of mucilaginous sheath. Yes. So the cells of this nostoc filament that contain the mucilaginous sheath, right? So these are the cells. Just imagine these are the cells. So this is the mucilaginous sheath that is present in the nostoc. Presence of the flagella. In nostoc filament, flagella is not present. That is the wrong one. Fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. That is also correct one. So option C is the correct answer. That presence of the flagella. So that is the wrong one. It do not contain the flagella. So option C is the correct answer. Next question. The algal component of lichen is known as A and the fungal component as B. Identify A and B. Okay. Here the algal component of the lichen, that is called as, what it is called? Algal component, that is called as the phycobiont. And here fungal component, that is called as the mycobiont. Right. Here which option is correct? A is phycobiont. So here first option is wrong. Second one is also wrong. Fourth one is D also wrong. So correct option, that is C. Phycobiont and the mycobiont. Option C is the correct answer. Next question. Sir, Jacob disease, CJD disease in humans, that is caused by viruses, prions, viroids, protozoans. The CJD disease, that is also called as mad cow disease, right? So this disease is caused by virus. No, virus is not responsible for this disease. That is the wrong one. And viroids, no, viroids also not responsible for this. Protozoans also not responsible for this. The correct option, that is the prions are. So what is the meaning of prion? Prion, that is the incorrectly folded protein which do not contain any genetic material, that is the folded protein that causes the disease. So that is called as the CJD disease in humans and mad cow disease in case of the animals. Next question. Which of the following pairs is not correctly matched? So you have to find out the incorrectly matched. Here, golden algae, chrysophytes, amoeba, protozoan, claviceps, ascomycetes, albugo, deuteromycetes. Yes, here, which one of the following is not correctly matched? Here, option, sorry. Option A, golden algae. So that is the chrysophytes, right? Amoeba, yes, amoeba is the type of the protozoan. Claviceps, that is example for the ascomycetes. But albugo, that do not comes under the deuteromycetes. Yes, albugo comes under here. Albugo belongs to the group Oomycetes. Means albugo that comes under the basidiomycetes. Here the correctly matched, which is not correctly matched, that is the albugo deuteromycetes. Here, sorry, albugo deuteromycetes, which do not comes under the this deuteromycetes, right? So here albugo comes under the phycomycetes. Sorry, albugo comes under the phycomycetes, not deutero, not oomycetes, means phycomycetes. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. Read the statements correctly. How many statements are correct for the kingdom Monera? You have to find out how many statements are correct for the kingdom Monera. Read the statement. It includes unicellular, colonial, and filamentous prokaryotes. Bacteria reproduce by fission, only by fission. Nutritionally, monerans are only photoautotrophs or saprophytes. Some of the monerans cause disease like cholera, typhoid, and the tetanus. Here, read the statement carefully. Monerans include unicellular, colonial, and filamentous prokaryotes. Yes, monera that includes the prokaryotic organisms. That is the correct statement. Bacteria reproduce by only by fission. So bacteria, read the statement, bacteria do not reproduce only by fission. So it reproduce by fission, but some other methods also there. So option 2 is the wrong one. Nutritionally, monerans are photoautotrophs and the saprophytes. Here, some monerans are photoautotrophs, some are chemosynthetic autotrophs, and some are heterotrophs. Not only these two types of the nutritional method that observe in Monera, so we can observe chemosynthetic autotrophs and the heterotrophs also. So this is the wrong statement. Some of the monerans can cause disease like cholera, typhoid, and tetanus. Yes, they cause some disease. So here cholera, typhoid, and the tetanus. Yes, this cholera, these are caused by the bacteria. These all diseases that is caused by the bacteria. So option 4 is the correct one. Option 1 and 4. Here all are correct. No, all are not correct. 2 and 3. Only one is correct. Here 1 and 4 are the correct one. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. Match the least one with the least two. Okay. Here you have to, in this type of question, just you find out which one you know perfectly, right? Here entamoeba. So So entamoeba, that is the amoeboid type of the, and slime mold, amoeboid type of the protozoa. Slime mold, that is the saprophytic protist, right? Here D3. See here in the option C and D, you can find the D3 answer, right? So this one is correct. And phycomycetes, so the mycelium is aseptate and sinusotic. So that I know perfectly. Phycomycetes, they have the mycelium, aseptate and the sinusotic. A2, right? A A1 is just a minute. One phycomycetes, they have the A3. So just you find A3. No, you can't find A2 is there. A1, C2, A1. So here quite confusing. Just a minute. We'll do how we know. Okay. Phycomycetes. So here these are A2. Okay. A2 and ascomycetes, mycelium, that is branched and septate. B1. B1 is correct. And entamoeba, that is the parasitic protozoan. Yes, entamoeba, that is the parasitic protozoan. And D, that is the slime mold, that is the saprophytic. D3. Here A2, A2 you can find in these two statements. This should be A2. Okay. A2, B1, C4, D3. Yes, this is the correct one. Here A is not mentioned. So you'll get confused here. C, A2, B1, C4 and D3. That is the correct one. Okay. Option C is the correct one. So in this type of question, you have to find out which one you know and try to eliminate the option. So then we'll get the answer easily. Then read this question. Statement 1. No virus contains both RNA and DNA. Statement 2. A virus is nucleoprotein and the genetic material is infectious. In the light of above statements, choose the most appropriate answer from the options given below. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. No virus contain both DNA and RNA. That is correct statement, right? And here, a virus is the nucleoprotein. Yes, that is nucleoprotein and genetic material is infectious. That is also correct one. So we'll see the answer, that is statement C. That is both statement 1 and 2 are the correct statement. 1 and 2 are the correct statement. Option C is the correct answer. Here, find the mismatched pair. Prions, abnormally folded protein, virus, non-cellular organisms, bacteriophage, viruses that infect the plants, viroids smaller than the viruses. Yes, you can find the mismatched pair here. Yes, find the answer. Sorry for this question. Comment your answer. Yes, bacteriophage, the virus that infect the bacteria. So it is called as bacteriophage. Right? Bacteriophage means that is the virus that infect the bacteria. So remaining all are prions, that is abnormally folded protein. That is correct one. Virus, that is non-cellular organism. That is also correct one. Viroids are smaller than the virus. That is also correct one. Okay. So yes, dear students. So last two questions are remaining. Just you try to write the answer for these questions. Fusion of protoplasm between gametes is called option A plasmogamy, karyogamy, dikaryon and dikaryophase. So try to write the answer for this question. Fusion of protoplasm between gamete is called. Yes, what is the answer? Yes, that is the plasmogamy. Right, that is the correct answer. Next question. Choose odd one with respect to the dinoflagellates. Choose the odd one with respect to the dinoflagellates. Mostly freshwater, stiff cellulosic plates, two different flagella, some cause red tides. Which of the following is not correct with respect to the dinoflagellates? Some causes the red tides, goniologs that cause the red tides. That is the correct one. They have two flagella. Yes, that is also correct one. Stiff cellulosic plates are present on their body. Yes, that is also correct option. So mostly fresh water. No, dinoflagellates are mostly marine water, not freshwater organisms. They are mostly marine water organisms. So option 1 is the wrong answer. Okay. Yes. So, dear students, we solved some questions on the chapter biological classification. I hope these questions are useful for you people to prepare your exams. Okay. Thank you, dear students. We'll continue in the next class.